outside. A little humid, but, the sun's nowadays not beating down on us like it will in a couple of months, a couple of weeks. My name is Chuck Burge. We're here with three guys who love sports. Show to help support guys that are going through their mental and physical issues, and we can help take their mind off what they're going through for an hour a week. And you help somebody, and they help somebody. We all do a little. Nobody has to do a lot. So supporting all those guys that are going through issues. Our good friend Rick Limpert lost his dad this week. So, Rick, dedicate this show to you, buddy. Hope everything's well with you. As you can see, this is not Robert.
I am not Robert.
Adam
That
Crooks
is correct.
sitting in for Robert today. Adam, welcome, buddy.
How's it going?
If I was any better, I'd be you.
That's true. You would be me.
That's what I'm talking about. All right. Again, welcome to Miller's Ale House. We're here every Wednesday at 5 o'clock for three guys who love sports. And fortunately, we get to eat here as well. And Larry Lichtenstein, what are you having today?
I'm having the fajitas today.
Chicken?
Chicken.
Oh,
That's
right.
all.
They don't, yeah, that's all they do now, right? Chicken? And you got the plain old hamburger
I did. I got a plain hamburger.
and plain French fries.
No, not plain French fries. Just a plain hamburger.
Like extra special French fries?
Yes.
Ketchup?
Yes.
Okay.
No ketchup. Not a ketchup guy.
Do you put
Just-
do you put mustard on your French fries?
No, I don't put anything on my French fries.
Salt?
Yes.
Okay, all right, I can do that. I used to put mustard and ketchup, so I like my
Yeah.
French
Well,
fries like
you're special. You're
that.
special.
In more ways than you'll ever know. That's right. So we'll be introducing our guests here in a minute, but let's get on to our first commercial with Alvin Jameson.
Hey, Alvin Jameson here, the mortgage guy. Are you looking to get pre-approved for a home loan? Or maybe you want to build a house from the ground up? Are you curious, or better yet, is your significant other on your back about making renovations in your current home? Call me. I have options for you. All self-employed individuals. Are you torn between writing off all your income or having to show your income to qualify for a house? I have a third alternative for you. Whether you're a W-2 employee, self-employed individual, looking to do a purchase or pull money out of your current house, or better yet, we can't forget the investors out there. If you have that high interest rate, hard money loan, and looking to refinance out of it, again, give me a call. I have options. Below are the states that I'm personally licensed in. Call me, 404-587-9033. Again, 404-587-9033. Visit the website, alvinjameson.com.
Jameson for being a sponsor of the three guys who love sports. Been with us, excuse me, for a while now. We got a lot of good things we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the greatest athlete to ever wear number 35. We're going to do some talk about sports cities, about where are the good cities in the States and where are the bad ones and who have the best fans, as well as an NFL segment about the best quarterbacks and wide receivers in the league as of today. But we're going to start off introducing our new guest, Mr. Jim Duty. Jim, welcome, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Listen
Good
to
be here.
that crowd.
Please, everybody. Oh, please. Thank you.
Isn't that
Thank
great?
you. Yeah.
They're standing. At least some people are. They're going to the bathroom. So, Jim, welcome. We're going to start off this show by talking a little bit about the finals that are coming up this week. We start tomorrow night in the Garden, right? Boston and the Mavericks. Now, this is the first time, anybody knew this, that Boston has ever played Dallas in any championship game. And I found that a little odd, as long as they've been around for sports. It's kind of a...
Well, I mean, if you think about it, the Patriots weren't good before the year 2000.
Yeah, and when they were good, the Cowboys weren't good.
Yes, and the Mavericks only won their first NBA championship in 2011 with Dirk Nowitzki. So
Dirk, yeah. So a lot of animosity between those teams because of Kyrie Irving.
no, I think Boston was happy to get rid of Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, but I mean, I saw all this week, there's clips of him flipping the fans off, and he has said, yeah, I was immature, I was a brat, and whatever. So it should be a decent series. I think Porzingis is going to try to play, from what I read. You like to say that name? Because I know
Kristaps Porzingis.
Kristaps Porzingis.
I do love a good Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah. So I don't think he's going to be 100%, but they said he'd probably be 90, and 90% of Porzingis is better than 0% of Porzingis.
This is true.
Yeah.
He is 7 feet tall, so 90% of 7 feet is better than 0% of 7 feet.
Yeah, I'd have to figure that one out. But yes, about 6'8", 6'9", something like that would be about 90% of Porzingis. Yeah. So I don't know. What do you expect out of the series?
Well, I think it's going to be a good series. It's going to be an interesting matchup. Luka Doncic, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Kyrie Irving. A lot of people are saying Jason Tatum is not a top 5 player in the league. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are a great duo, but is Jason Tatum a top 5 player in the league? Maybe he's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder coming into the series. Luka Doncic has been fantastic. He's carried that Mavericks team. As good as Kyrie is, and as good as Kyrie has been, it's Doncic's team. So I expect a Luka Doncic, Jason Tatum matchup, and I think Boston's got it just because you can't win off the back of one player.
And you think Luka's that player?
Yes, I think Luka's that player for Dallas. And I don't know that they can. One game is easy. 4 games is tough. The Celtics are a team. They've got Porzingis. They've got Tatum. They've got
and Al
Peyton
Horford
Pritchard.
came in and played really well for Porzingis while he was gone. They were like 21-4 or something with him in the starting lineup.
So there's I think Boston is the better team.
A little bit more depth, probably.
Yes.
Yeah. I think so too. I said beginning the playoffs, the winner of the NBA championship would be the winner of the Minnesota and Denver series. So I've been way off because I didn't think Boston could win without Porzingis, but they have proved me wrong. And I kind of like them in a 7-game or whatever game be playoff it will be against Dallas. But I think it'll be an entertaining series.
Yes, I think it'll be a great series between 2 fantastic teams. I wish it were probably Denver and Boston. I think Denver and Boston would be a much more exciting series.
Yeah.
But, Dallas and Boston is going to be a great series.
A credit to Irving and to Doncic for getting it done, right?
Yeah.
That 3 that Doncic hit at the end of game 6, I think, was it?
Yeah.
It was just off the chains good to put them back ahead. So good luck to them. Now, there's another interesting fact about the NBA playoffs this year. Does anybody know what that is?
Not off the top of my head.
So this is the first championship series that's only happened twice in this decade that there is no MVP player, former or current, on either one of these teams. So it's not the best of the best. It's just a lot of really good players that are playing.
There's a lot of players in this series that will probably win MVPs, though.
And so you think Luka is one of them?
Luka's going to win an MVP. Tatum could win an MVP. Jaylen Brown could win an MVP.
Yeah. But, okay. So, Jim, who do you like in this series?
As much as I hate to say it, Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're just a complete team. They seem to have, when Porzingis is there.
Yeah.
So
does your hatred for Boston come from your hatred for the Patriots as well?
Yeah.
So anything New England is not you, right?
Exactly.
Jim's a big Miami guy, and we'll get into that a lot as we go through the show, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, I'd like to see it go 6 or 7 games, but I'll be very happy when basketball's over and we can focus on football.
Yeah.
But there's also another sport going on, and Jim can lead our discussion on that, and that's the NHL hockey, the Lord Stanley's Cup.
Yeah, man. You guys talked a lot about racing last week, and I know there's probably more racing
Adam
fans
talked
than
more
hockey
about
fans.
Adam talked a lot about
I
racing.
talked about racing.
Yeah, the difference between Indy and NASCAR, and I don't know anything about racing really, but a lot of people don't know a lot about hockey. So I see it's basically between hockey and MLS now, probably for the bottom of the North American professional sports. And
Yeah.
That means racing is third. Third from bottom.
I guess it depends on how you rank
If
it.
racing is considered a sport.
Racing is a
Oh,
sport.
here we go. Yeah, here we go.
Racing is a sport.
All right. So to me, the first thing I look at is this is a long way between cities.
Huge, yeah.
2,800 miles. That's all between Edmonton and Miami. I don't know that there's ever been a championship series where they had to travel so far between. It's 2 games, 2 games, 1-1-1. Is that the way it works?
Yeah, that last 3 is going to be tough. That's a lot of travel in a short amount of time.
Yeah. Why do they delay them so much? Like the first game in the Lord Stanley's Cup is not until Saturday.
They have
hype it up.
TV.
The
Television.
NFL, not the NFL, the NBA and the NHL have specific. This is when the finals is going to start.
No matter how many games go forward.
Yes.
So if all were wiped up in 4, we could have been waiting in 2 weeks to have the finals.
Yes.
Doesn't make sense to me. But I'm sure it's money and TV. So Panthers a good team.
Oh, excellent team. This is the best team that they've had in their entire history, which is now over 30 years.
Never been. They were in the championship round last year against the Golden Knights, right?
Yep, and they were beat up as all get out. Kachuk had a broken sternum,
Now,
and he
Tkachuk-
played with it.
Well, he was originally from Colorado, or was it his dad that played in Colorado?
His dad played for St. Louis for the most part.
Did he?
Yeah.
I thought there was back in the Patrick.
But they did
Waugh
live in
days
Boston
and
for a while.
the-
I don't know if he ended
that
up
there was a
playing on the
Tkachuk
Bruins. But
that
yeah,
played for the
Kachuk,
Cavaliers.
he was a goon back in the day. Keith Kachuk
Yeah,
in
that's
the
his,
90s.
That's
yeah.
his dad, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I was
Yep.
thinking. Yeah, but they've got a pretty good little goaltender down there, Barbara
Go ahead, give it a shot.
Bobrovsky.
Good enough.
No,
good
no,
enough.
I want to try and pronounce this.
Sergei.
If I can,
Sergei,
if I
yes.
can even
Rob-
read
Robovals-
your handwriting.
If I can, right here.
We can just call him Bob.
Bobrovsky. Is that it?
Bobrovsky.
Bobrovsky?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what.
Sergei
That's probably what I was
Bobrovsky,
going to
so-
say. Bobrovsky.
So he's
Yeah.
giving up 2.2 goals a game.
And that was, one game he ended up giving up 5, and
Yeah.
that was kind of a fluke. He had a couple of breakaways that he didn't have much of a chance on, but yeah, against the Rangers, it was 2 games or less or 2 goals or less in all 6 games except for the one.
Yeah, and his save percentage is .905. I think that's what I saw.
I thought it was a little higher than that, but it could be right. I mean, but he's not getting that many shots
I
on
think
him.
in the playoffs, that's what it.
Okay,
that's
yeah.
what it was.
There you
Yeah, yeah. And Edmonton's got a pretty good defensive team. They're only allowing 25.1 shots a game.
Well, they spent a lot of time playing offense.
Yeah, yeah.
With those
McDavid
electric stars,
Oh, here's
yeah.
another good name for you, Adam.
Connor McDavid.
Leon?
No, I know Connor McDavid, the other guy.
Yeah, that's the easy one.
Yeah, Connor McDavid.
Are you going with Leon?
Yeah,
His
I
line
can't.
mate?
Draisaitl.
Close.
I can't.
Draisaitl.
We're going with Draisaitl.
Draisaitl.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't read your handwriting.
I can't either. I just remembered it.
But
So,
yeah, it's going to
but
be a
they've got
good
pretty
matchup.
good offense.
Oh
right?
yeah, very good. But yeah, the Panthers' defense is amazing too. Even
Yeah.
their forwards are excellent at defense. They had Barkov and Reinhardt up for the Selke Trophy, which is the best defensive offensive player.
And the Smythe Trophy is for the best player in the NFL playoffs, right?
NHL.
Playoffs or in the finals.
Playoffs, all playoffs.
All
But
playoffs.
usually you get a little bit more games under your belt, you have a better chance. It'd be
Yeah.
tough to award a Conn Smythe winner
That somebody
to
went
someone who's
3
not.
and out. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
I think Bob's on track right now, but
Do ya?
But yeah, I mean they could have some performances in the finals with Barkov, Reinhardt. They got some stars on Florida, and
It's a
hopefully
lot-
not McDavid.
To me, it's a lot more fun to watch a hockey game live than
Oh,
it is on
definitely,
TV.
and that's great point. It's the football product I like better at
On
home
TV?
on TV. Yeah, but there's nothing like live NHL hockey, especially in the playoffs. They're so much more intense in the playoffs than the regular season.
Yeah. Now, did
regular
the
season.
Panthers do anything cool like the Red Wings used to do when they threw an octopus on the ice when they
You
scored?
don't know about the rats?
Oh, that's right. I have heard about that. They throw rats on the ice,
Yeah,
right?
ever since '96.
Dead rats or live rats?
I think
Combination
that,
of
I
the
think
two.
they're usually neither. It's usually plastic,
fake
but
plastic
in New York,
rats?
hey, there's plenty of rats in New York, so I'm sure if we found some up there, we could.
Well, why don't the Stars do that? Because you take the Stars backwards, that's rats.
Oh, good point. I don't do.
Dallas Star.
Right. Yeah.
STAR. Yeah, Rats backwards. That's right. Yeah, yeah. So I like hockey. I'll probably watch some of the games. I watched some of the Rangers Panthers game when the Panthers went up 2-0, and the Rangers came back and got a goal.
Yeah. That was game 6. That
Game
last
six.
one.
Yeah,
the
a
closeout
little
game.
shaky for you.
Oh man, I'm always sitting at the edge of my seat whenever there's a hockey game on.
Yeah.
The Panthers.
So
Yeah,
we might have to get together and watch a game. That's cool. We'll come to Miller's Ale House and watch a hockey game.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. All
that's
right.
what I'm talking about.
Hopefully they'll have the sound on over here. I would assume so.
They do. Yeah, usually they do. Yeah. So just for you, I'm going to say the Panthers in 6.
Let's go.
How about you? Take the Rats
I
or the
kinda-
Oilers? Because
yeah.
the Oilers, no team from Canada. You know the last time a Canadian team won the Stanley Cup?
92?
30 years ago.
Oh, I thought the Rangers won in 94.
I think that's the last time it won. It's just been 30 years.
Well, let's make it 30 more.
There you go. Do you even care if you pick a game?
Yeah, I can pick.
Okay, I'll let you pick.
I don't know. I saw this Twitter video of this girl in an Oilers jersey, so I'm taking the Oilers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I bet you. Yeah.
They were talking about that on Domino's show the other day.
Yeah, I'm taking the Oilers.
And Nick
Yeah.
Nick Cellini said, I got one word to describe that woman. Perfect.
Wow. Okay.
So I haven't seen her. Is she pretty close to perfect?
Yeah, I'm taking the Oilers.
Oh, fair
Next
enough.
question.
All right.
Well, I actually, I was out in Vegas in February, and my friend wanted me to put in a $100 parlay for him. He had the Yukon Huskies to win the NCAA championship. They did. He's got Boston to win the NBA, Florida to win the NHL, and the Dodgers to win Major League Baseball.
Wow. So
If
he's got a
Boston
shot.
and Florida win these 2 series, we're going to Vegas for the World Series.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
100 to win 106,000.
100 to win 106,000? Can you take a guest?
I will
my
definitely
buddy.
be that guest. Hey, I placed the bet. Wouldn't have happened.
I'm talking about you taking a guest.
Oh,
You're
you
taking
want to
me.
be the guest? I didn't. It wasn't my money.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get a commercial out of the way. Kennesaw Express Lube, Mr. Adam.
There's a lot of places to get your oil changed in the Kennesaw area, but if you're looking for a personal experience, then stop in at Castro Kennesaw Express Loop or Lost Mountain Express Loop. We'll always do our best to get you in and out quickly and safely without a whole lot of fuss. We're a true owner-operator business where you'll find Brian under the hood of a car at one of our shops. We offer experienced, knowledgeable technicians and the latest computer software technology to help you maintain your new car warranty and keep your pride and joy running for the next 100,000 miles. We proudly offer Castro products.
And thank you, Brian Bristow, for being a sponsor of the 3 guys who love sports. Again, Chuck Burge along with Adam Crooks and their buddy Jim Duty. We are now going to continue our conversation about the greatest athletes that ever wore a certain jersey number, and we are up to number 35 today. There are a lot of good. This whole 32, 33, 34, 35 has been really good. I mean, there are a lot of good athletes, and the only one that I could think of before I actually looked it up was Phil Niekro, because he's a knuckleball pitcher. I can't say he's the greatest athlete that ever wore the number. Might be my favorite athlete that ever wore the number 35, but I can't say he was the greatest athlete. He threw a knuckleball, and that's all he did. And I don't see what it takes to throw a knuckleball to make you a great athlete. Just doesn't fit in my book. Love Phil. Got to meet him one time for a brief time. But there were so many other good athletes, and let's name a few of those. Kevin Durant, Yogi Berra. If you want to take the most humorous number 35, it's got to be Yogi. He was phenomenal. Some of the great things he said. Ricky Henderson is another one, great base stealer with the Oakland A's. He spent the majority of his time with Oakland, right? Justin Verlander. Now, we could vote for him just because of his wife. You'd like that, wouldn't it? What was her name?
No
Kate?
comment.
Put her in a Panthers jersey,
Well,
and then we'll
yeah, well,
compare.
sure.
How about
No
that?
comment.
I still got to go with this other girl. Who's Jason Verlander's wife? Kate
Upton.
Upton. Yeah, Kate Upton. Yeah.
No comment.
Okay. All right. But you'll comment about their hockey girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got to, Larry, do a little research. We need to see this girl. So find us some pictures. We got to find out her name. Frank Thomas is another one, the Big Hurt. He's from Georgia. Played at Auburn University. And we discussed Bo Jackson last week as we all decided, except for Adam, that
Yep.
he was the greatest athlete to ever wear the number 34. So it wouldn't be hard to pick Frank Thomas. He was a good athlete. Greatest? No, I don't think. Others, Joe Morgan, who was a great member of the Big Red Machine back in the late 70s. And there are a lot of good ones. Do you want to go ahead and get yours out of the way?
Yeah. My mom would want me to pick Joe Morgan. I won't pick Joe Morgan. She's a big fan of the Big Red Machine. But I got a text from Robert this week that said that he's on board with my race car driver this week.
I'd have to see that text to believe Robert's on board with a race car driver.
So Robert and I are picking Jimmy Murphy. He won the 1921 French Grand Prix back when the French Grand Prix was a big deal. He won the Indy 500. He won 2 AAA championship titles, which back in the 20s was like he won the U.S. title. So I'm picking Jimmy Murphy.
Nice troll job.
Jimmy Murphy. Okay.
That's not a troll. That's my actual number 35.
Yeah. If it's,
He thinks I'm kidding.
no, if
I'm
it's all
so
things,
serious.
If it's all things racing, it's 18.
I'm so serious.
I'm catching that.
He's gone to the Indy 500 the last 13 years.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah. So I got a different take.
I'm sure you do.
There-
You've got a wrong take.
I had 3 thoughts.
Go ahead.
Number 1 was Ricky Henderson. I mean, 24 years in the league, Hall of Fame, 10 times All-Star, 2-time World Series champion, 1-time American League MVP, and 1 Gold Glove. I mean, it doesn't even talk about his base stealing ability and everything that he did. Enjoyed watching him play. If he was on base, he was going to steal second, pretty much.
Yeah.
I like Ricky. Frank Thomas, same thing, Hall of Fame, 5-time All-Star. But just for Adam's mom, I am going to have to go with Joe Morgan. And him and Ricky had very similar stats. Joe Morgan's 21 years playing, 2-time World Series champion, 10-time All-Star, 2-time National League MVP, and 5-time Gold Glove. And I mean, I remember so much about the Big Red Machine bench and Tony Perez at first base, Dave Concepcion, and I can't remember who played third base. It wasn't Ray Knight, was it?
I have no idea.
Yeah, because I know you don't like baseball. Yeah.
Nope.
And it's very rare that I would pick a baseball player. But, there weren't a lot of really good football players that were number 35. I couldn't find any. And then Kevin Durant's a great athlete. I don't think he's the greatest. He's still probably got a few years to play.
He'd be my number 2.
He'd be your number 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. Durant's probably up there with me in two or three. But I think I'm going to have to go with Joe Morgan. And Joe was a great announcer, too. I love to listen to him on TV. So he broadened his horizon from what he did on the court. I like people that stay with the same team. I'm very much a old traditionalist. I wish everybody played for the same team from the minute they signed till they retired. I think it would make sports a lot better. Adam and I finally agreed on something last week, and we'll talk about that. But who was your favorite number 35?
I mean, as far as athletes go, if you're going with that term athlete, I mean, it'd be tough to pick a pitcher, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Kind of along the same lines as Phil Necro. I mean, he had one pitch. He
race
had
car
the
driver.
knuckleball. Yeah, or I wasn't going to go there, but I'm glad you did. Yeah.
I'm sure it's very difficult what they do.
Yeah.
I haven't done it yet, so. But no, I think
I have done it not done it professionally, but I've done some race car driving in my car.
Well, I'm going to have to quote the great John Kruk, where he said, I'm not an athlete. I'm a baseball player.
Did Kruk really say that?
Yeah, well, you remember what he looked like, right?
Oh, yeah. He was
Did he
huge
look like an
guy, yeah.
athlete?
No, he looked like a beer-drinking baseball player.
Looked like a guy we could look down to our left here and check
Yeah,
out, you know?
and-
Yeah,
yeah.
but I mean, Kevin Durant, he's got to be up there for me, but I was a big Frank Thomas fan back in the 90s.
I
I
was
just
too.
love 90s baseball. Him and Griffey, those were just 2 great hitters from then.
Is that the same time McGuire and Sosa were playing?
They were a little bit after. They
Yeah.
were playing, but they
Yeah.
weren't as prolific until the early 2000s,
Until
late 90s.
the steroids era.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Precisely.
Yeah. So, Larry, have we ever asked you for your opinion on the greatest athlete?
No, only when I was on the show itself.
All right, well, tell us who you think would be number 35 for you. And Larry's a homer, so he could say Phil Niekro, but
No, I have to agree. Unfortunately, he's probably my favorite 35, but he's definitely not the athlete.
the greatest athlete to ever wear number 35.
Yeah, I would probably have to agree with you with Joe Morgan.
Yeah, Joe was just so cool. I mean, everything he did. He did play with Pete Rose. That's who third base was, Pete
There
Rose.
you go.
I knew it would come
He's
up.
not in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
And nor will he ever be, I don't think, but we'll see. But, yeah, Joe Morgan's a good athlete.
Especially after this week.
Yeah, he just got some company in the
Yeah.
lifetime
Yeah.
banned baseball player list.
Yeah, that was kind of wild. The guy played for the Pittsburgh Pirates, right? He was the San
Most
Diego
recently
Padres this year.
Padres,
Yeah.
yeah.
But last year he was with
Bye.
the Pirates, and he won't be playing anywhere. What was funny about that, we'll get off topic for just a second. Did you see what the percentage of bets he won
Like
that he
four?
plays? Like 3.4%. Or
Yeah.
something like. He placed over $387,000 in bets.
I saw the story.
And he got like 4% right. I said, why would
Isn't that punishment enough?
well, why would anybody report him? I said, if I was the
Like, just-
bookie,
yep.
I'd let this guy keep going and bet anything he wants to.
Well, the betting's not going to stop when he stops playing.
Well, he might run out of money if he's only winning 4% of his bets.
He'll play baseball in Japan probably.
Yeah, he could. Yeah.
Does he need an interpreter? There might be one. Could look into.
Tawny, help him out over there.
He's facing some time now, though.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah. So I don't. I see like I picked more baseball players than I would have thought of from the time we started this at 0. But I just don't consider them the greatest athletes. But there were some, like a Bo Jackson, that played
But the
baseball.
35, I mean, you're either, a safety or a running back, and not a lot of great running backs were 35.
No, I went down the list pretty good and couldn't find any running backs that were that hot at 35. So, excuse me, I got a frog today. Like I said, I love Phil Niekro. I'll always be a Niekro fan. But, nah, Joe's the man. We got to go with Joe Morgan. All right, we're going to talk a little bit more about our next topic, which is the greatest sports cities in the country. So we'll go ahead and get to our brain drain commercial.
Hey, it's Melissa at Brain Train Centers, the fastest growing neurofeedback provider in the world, and I have some pretty important questions for you. Do you or someone you know struggle with focus and attention, sleep, memory, or other mood issues? Or maybe you just want to achieve more in high-pressure situations. Well, what if I told you you can unlock your brain's full potential and change your life entirely through neurofeedback, a drug-free and natural approach to negative moods, and it's backed by more than 50 years of research, so it's not new. It is safe for both children and adults as you retrain the brain to create new pathways. Medication may help short-term, but they don't address the underlying issues. Just as push-ups help your physical strength, neurofeedback is personal training for your brain. With over 20 offices nationwide, don't hesitate to reach out to Brain Train Centers, as we will provide you with the highest level of compassionate care and help you achieve the mental clarity, performance, and calm you deserve. Your journey to a better quality of life starts with a brain map. Now you can retrain your brain and reset your life. So just call or text 470-291-2778 or visit BrainTrainCentersInc.com.
For being sponsors of the Three Guys Who Love Sports right here on Wednesdays at Miller's Ale House at 5 o'clock. So we're going to move on to, I know Jim is a big Miami fan, so we were going to talk about the greatest sports cities and the worst sports cities. Now, if Miami win, if the Panthers win, because of the Florida Panthers, right, not the Miami Panthers.
Yeah, they play in Sunrise.
Yeah. If the Florida Panthers win, what distinction does that give them?
Wow. That's an interesting question. Because it's not unique to be a hockey champion in Florida. We've seen the Lightning have quite the run lately. They
Yes,
had
they
two
have.
championships. Actually, the past 5 years now, there's been a team from Florida represented in the Stanley Cup final.
That's pretty cool.
So, yeah, not unique, though.
No.
So I guess it would be the fact that they only have won one Stanley Cup final game because they got swept in '96. They only won one last year.
Yeah.
So winning more than one game would be an accomplishment, but
No.
winning it all is what we
If
want.
Miami wins the Stanley Cup, they will become the 10th city to win the NFL championship, Major League Baseball championship, NFL Super Bowl, and the Stanley Cup.
10th though.
The 10th. But hey, there's a lot of cities. So
It's better than the 11th.
Hey, I'll take it.
can you name the other 10 cities without
Can
looking
I
at my
name
list?
the other 10 cities?
Who's number one? Who's won the most championships?
L.A., Boston,
They are both on the list, but they're not number 1 and 2.
Dallas.
Sadly, Dallas is number 9.
Okay, so I've got 3 of the 10.
Oh, New York. Gotta be
New
New York.
York.
New York's number 1. Yeah.
It's 4. Indianapolis doesn't have a hockey team.
Puck, no.
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia is 1. Did we say you could play?
That's 5.
That's 5. Let me mark off the ones you got right here.
Oh, Capitals.
I know
Yeah, Washington.
Washington.
I got another one if I'm allowed to play.
Yeah, go ahead and play.
San Francisco.
San Francisco is incorrect.
Ooh.
They have no hockey team.
They have no hockey team.
They have the San Jose Sharks, which is close, but they've never won a cup.
Been
have
there once, I think.
they? But no, it's not San
The
Francisco.
Kraken haven't won. I just like
Boston.
say-
Pretty fresh.
we already said Boston.
Did you?
Did you say
Yeah.
Boston? I don't. But
Yeah.
Boston is 1.
Yeah.
Boston's number 2. New York has won 56 championships.
St. Louis.
St. Louis is another one.
Oh.
Yeah, St. Louis is 1. LA is 1.
Minneapolis.
Nope. You've only missed 2. And one of them is a little tricky. Because,
Pittsburgh.
No.
Oh, the Pirates never
no.
did.
But they
No.
haven't won. They haven't won.
Toronto.
No, they haven't won.
Oh, Toronto
a
doesn't
Super
have an
Bowl,
NFL team.
but they've won an NFL championship.
It could be
Detroit.
Cleveland.
Detroit.
Detroit is correct. They won like 4 championships
In the 50s or
before they
something,
merged.
yeah.
The 30s, I
Who
think. Yeah.
Was it?
Who are we missing?
There's only one more.
I know, but I don't know who it is.
That would be Chicago.
I
Should have been an easy one.
don't know how I missed Chicago.
Yeah. So that's pretty wild. I mean, not a lot of teams qualify.
But the
because-
10th four-sport city to have a champion in all 4.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I'm in.
I'm glad to hear you're in. So we talked a little bit earlier about Philadelphia being horrible fans. I know if I ever went, because the Falcons are playing in Philadelphia on a Monday night, and my son, if he still lives in Philadelphia, I may go up for the game, but I'm not wearing a Falcons jersey. I guarantee you, I'm going to either wear something neutral, because I don't want to get shot. I don't want to get stuff
They
thrown
threw
at me.
snowballs at Santa Claus. That tells you all you need to know
That's
about
all
Philadelphia
you need to know about
fans.
Philadelphia fans, yeah. So who else are the bad fans?
Athens, Georgia.
Oh. Yay.
Second thing Adam and I have agreed on.
Jets.
Yeah,
Are we talking cities or individual teams?
Cities.
cities, yeah.
Not all New York fans are that bad, but
Athens,
Jets
Georgia
fans
is
are
a
terrible.
city.
Yeah, yeah.
Jets fan. I don't mind Jets fans.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're not a Dolphins fan.
That's true.
That's true. So and we dip it into college. Everybody hates their rivals in college. Like I'd never pull for anybody. Larry loves Athens. I don't like Athens. I can't go there and not leave and not have to shower for like 2 hours to feel better about myself after leaving.
I
Athens.
feel sick
No,
watching
but
Georgia
all
play football
SEC
on TV.
Most SEC fans are going to be bad fans.
Yeah.
Whether it's Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, South Carolina, they don't.
I don't think
LSU is the only one that treats the opposing fans very well.
I don't think I've met a bad
The
Ole Miss
only one?
fan.
Or the only one,
Or a bad
or
Mississippi State
one of
fan.
the one.
Or a bad
One of
Vanderbilt
the top
fan.
SEC teams.
Does
where the
Vanderbilt
fans.
have a fan?
I don't know, but I don't think I've met a bad Vanderbilt fan. Or a bad Missouri fan.
Yeah, I'm talking the top tier.
Hey, Vanderbilt has won several SEC championships.
What's more?
Yes, they have.
A long time ago.
Not in anything important, but yes, they have.
But Tulane has won more SEC championships than over half the SEC teams.
Swanee has won more SEC championships
Swanee.
than a lot of the SEC
Was
teams.
Swanee were they in the
Yes.
SEC at one time?
Yes.
Everybody knows that Purdue has the worst fans.
Purdue?
Ooh.
Oh, there's something.
Sean, if this weren't a family-friendly show,
Purdue. Now, I have heard some very positive things about Notre Dame. My friend Mark Orr, who started on the show with me and Larry, Mark went up for the trifecta when the Braves were playing the Cubs. Georgia was playing Notre Dame, and the Falcons played the Bears, all in the same weekend.
Wow.
So he went up for that, and he said that people were coming out of their houses, that the Notre Dame stadium's just in the neighborhood. The people coming out of their garage, hey, come on in, have a beer, you know, this is something. So that's pretty cool. I mean, I would say for the most part, most colleges are pretty hospitable for people that are coming. Some people hate the other teams that are coming, but for the most part, Auburn and Alabama, no love lost there, right?
oh, Auburn. I don't like Auburn fans.
What have they done to you, Adam?
They've done a lot of things. I don't like Auburn fans. I don't like Tennessee fans. Tennessee fans are just sore losers.
Yes.
And they're getting pretty used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. Auburn fans just irritate me.
Aren't they the ones that throw the toilet paper in the trees when
Yes.
they win and
Yeah.
stuff like that?
Their chant is spelling out their name. The fact that you have to spell out your name is sad.
Yeah, I think the Jets and the Eagles both also do that, so there may be a throw line.
I hate the Eagles.
Jets.
I hate.
They have to
I
remind
hate the
themselves how to
Eagles.
spell.
Sean's a big
Apparently,
Jets fan. Yeah. Hey,
Hey,
Sean.
you.
Jets fans are pretty cool, right?
I like to think so.
And I,
I'm a hopeless bunch. So.
yeah. Well, I'll tell you another cool place is Green Bay. I've been to Green Bay to see a game, and pretty much same thing Mark experienced in Chicago. We're going to tailgate. We're going to do the whole experience. Me and three of my poker buddies and my two sons. We went up to spend a weekend in Green Bay, and we went out closest place we could to the stadium, and literally it was from here about to the front door. It was really, really close, and people were so nice. Come over, have a brat. We played cornhole with them. Went over and met one guy that he had a bus there, like a little school bus, like the special bus, like
tailgate bus.
But in his family, somebody is in charge of that bus every year and is in charge of all tailgating, and they rotate it every year or every 2 or 3 years, something
cool.
like that. But his grandfather played for the Packers in the 30s,
Whoa.
and ever since then they have had that tailgating spot. I
Keep
didn't
it
even know
going.
they had tails in the 30s.
I've got another one. Bloomington, Indiana. We get it. You won 5 national championships 40 years ago. Stop talking about it.
You talk about the Hoosiers.
You haven't been relevant in 25 years.
Ever since Bobby Knight left.
Yep.
Yeah.
They are irrelevant. They will always be irrelevant.
Now, is that, again, like Jim has a hatred for the Patriots and all that stuff, is that because of your hatred for Indiana or all things that aren't Purdue?
I just hate Indiana fans in general. I mean, yes, because I'm a Purdue fan, but even if I weren't a Purdue fan, I would still hate Indiana fans.
Okay, so just like me, I even if I wasn't a Georgia Tech fan, I'd hate the Bulldogs.
I'm not a Georgia Tech fan, and I hate Georgia
There
fans.
you go. Yeah.
So,
Anybody that can't say anything more intelligent than how about them dogs woof, 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 is just way beyond me. Anytime somebody posts something on Facebook where something's spelled wrong, like they're opening a business, I said, oh, it must be a Georgia grad opening up a new business. Good for them. So,
barking at children is weird.
yes, barking.
Stop doing it.
It is stuff. It is tough doing it. So from a professional standpoint, I guess because we haven't really talked about any other sports other than football. I mean, but there's got to
I
be
talked
some.
about basketball.
How about the people at Duke, the Cameron Crazies?
I don't mind Duke fans.
You don't mind Duke fans?
No,
Because
Duke,
they're not in the Big Ten?
Duke fans haven't done anything to me.
Yeah.
I don't
So
mind Duke.
this is a
I like-
personal vendetta
I like
for you.
Coach
It's not-
Krzyzewski. Coach Krzyzewski was a
Coach K
great
was cool,
coach.
yeah.
I loved watching him coach.
Yeah, I did too. He was a good coach. I didn't like Dean Smith because I hated the four corners. It just wasn't basketball. It changed the game, and so it should the 35-second clock should be called the Dean Smith clock because that's the reason it's in there.
Yeah.
And I think it was the greatest thing that ever happened to sports because basketball would have gone the
Just
wayside.
game of keep away.
It's reverse dodgeball.
Yeah, cannot be entertaining at all.
No, and it wasn't. I mean, when you have like a 12 to 20 game and something, it's not a lot of fun to watch. Shoot a couple of free throws and then pass the ball around. So I had an angst for North Carolina for a long time until that got settled. But yeah, that was not somebody that I really admired as a coach. I mean, I understand what he was doing. I understand he was trying to control the game, and that's basically what you do as a coach. But yeah, a little too ingenuous for me. I just want to play basketball. So I'm sure there are other hatred. Steeler fans hate Cincinnati, right? They hate Cleveland. Anybody in that, is that the Central? No, that's the North. AFC North, right? They hate everybody. Baltimore.
I went up there as a Dolphins fan and with my jersey on and everything. They were nice to me, but
In
I wasn't
Pittsburgh?
in their division. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the opening game. It was a Thursday night in like 2006 or something.
And I think that's probably a lot to do with it, that you're not.
Because I wasn't one of
You
them.
weren't in the division, yeah. Now, would you get the same love if you went to Rich Stadium in Orchard Park, or if you went to is it Gillette Stadium where the Patriots play?
Probably not.
Yeah, and who's the other team? Oh, the Jets. Yeah. I just can't imagine going to a Philadelphia game as a visitor and wearing your own home jersey. Especially in this day and age, you're going to get killed. Just not the nicest people in the city of brotherly love. My left gonad. I just can't believe that's the city of brotherly love. With all the hate that's going on. Rocky, way past that. Nobody's care about Rocky anymore. It's like, we're going to kill you. So, I don't know. Best fans, Georgia Tech, obviously.
I heard some good things about Green Bay, too. In fact, the radio show I listened to in Miami, Channing Crowder is one of the hosts, and he was talking about
Ex-Dolphin,
going
right?
into, was that?
Ex-Dolphin,
Ex-Dolphin and
yeah.
Gator, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how, he went into Green Bay, made a tackle for loss or something, and one of the fans was like, "That was a great tackle, 52. Nice job."
Oh, really? Now, did you go to Florida, too?
I did.
So what was like, it's Ben Hill Stadium, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Swamp.
Yeah.
It's pretty intense.
Yeah, is it?
It is quite intense. I mean, they're getting up to 100,000 in there, and it shows.
I've driven by the stadium and looked for what I could see, but never been inside. Pretty cool place to watch a football game.
Yeah, definitely. I only went to a handful while I was there, but yeah, actually they left the gate open one night. I walked in there and just kind of looked around at midfield, and yeah, it's a cool place.
I did that at the University of Illinois one time. I was in Champaign, and I said, "Listen, I'm never going to be here again."
Yeah.
I said, "Can I just walk out on the field?" He said,
gotta
"Yeah,
do
go
it
ahead."
once, yeah.
So I went down the
What are you
50
gonna
and
do?
looked around at the enormity of all those Big Ten stadiums. But my God, that was a huge
There's
place.
like 6 seats in Champaign. What are you talking about?
Oh, no. This was a huge stadium. Yeah, it's
Their
a big
football
place.
stadium seats like 6 people. Northwestern seats 5.
Yeah, but the stadium holds more, but that's how many they seat.
Yeah.
Because that's how many come to the games.
Yeah.
But yeah. So you were saying what, Jim? I'm sorry.
Oh, just about being on the field. That was basically it. Just the enormity of that stadium and imagining it just filled up, standing on the field and looking up at 100,000 people. And it gets loud.
If you, as a college football fan, could go to one stadium and watch a game, where is it?
Ooh. That's a good one. Probably Notre Dame.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Touchdown,
My
Jesus?
family are huge Notre Dame fans, and it just seems like a real event there,
Yeah. How about you, Adam?
Rose Bowl.
Pasadena?
Oh, that's a cool one, too.
Been there. Not inside the stadium, but again, I had a client out in L.A. and I was out there a good bit. But I walked around the stadium. It's just in the middle of a city park. It's just an old rickety, rackety stadium. And I think we talked about that on the show one day with, I think it was Coach Bohannon, because he said he'd like to play in the Rose Bowl. Well, really cool, but I think I'd have to go to the Big House in Michigan. I've always heard that it's like sunk down in the ground. It's not like how most stadiums stick up.
I've got a different answer.
All right, go ahead.
Penn State for a night whiteout game.
That would be cool. Now, you know who's been is Ian King. You know
Yes.
Ian, right?
Yes.
So, Ian, do you know Ian? He used to come in now
I'm not
anymore.
even a Penn State fan, but Penn State, Ohio State for a night whiteout game would be electric.
Yeah, and maybe the same thing at LSU.
Yeah.
Yeah, Baton Rouge
Death
would be a good
Valley
place
for
to go
a
to.
for a night
Oh, yeah.
game.
And it was funny, and we'll move on to the next subject after this. But I remember when FSU played at Clemson, and they follow those buses from one end of the stadium. That might be a pretty cool place to watch the players run down at night too. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, football fans are football fans. They're gonna love you. They're gonna hate you, and that's, to me, that's one of the great things about football. I mean, all the money and all that crap, which I think is way too much. The one thing Adam and I agreed about last week is I wish they would throw everything in the dirt and just start all over. Yeah, I mean, nobody makes millions of dollars. Stars,
Give me the Pac-12 back.
Stars will become stars, and eventually they would become stars.
I
But
want
it's
the
just-
Pac-12,
I agree.
not the Pac-2.
I'm with Adam
USC
on that.
doesn't belong in the Big Ten.
Nor does UCLA or Oregon or
No,
Washington.
no, they don't.
Yeah.
But you know who has the best fans?
Who?
Kennesaw State.
Now there you
Hooty
go.
hoo.
There you go. There you go. That is not a place to.
You're welcome.
All right. So let's move on to our last commercial with American Access.
There's your axe.
Thank you.
Tired of going to the same old places for the same old thing? American Access has your solution. Whether you're looking for something new to do before or after the game, bachelor or bachelorette party, or something to do when you have guests in from out of town, American Access, with their 3 Atlanta locations, a Marietta, Tucker, and now downtown at the Works, they've got something different. Look us up at American Access or give us a call at 678-763-3630 to schedule your next adventure.
Thank you so much, Adam, for
There's not another number on here. It's
We
just
lost the number on
363.
Larry Lichtenstein.
I guess
we need to get
guess
that-
you're gonna just have to try 361 360 until you find American
Just look
Access.
up American Access
Yeah.
so you find their number. So thank you, Dan Fisher, for being a sponsor of 3 Guys Who Love Sports right here. You know, the best thing about the hockey finals and the NBA finals is a couple of weeks it'll be over, and it's football.
Yep.
It's 100% football. Maybe 99% football, 1%
We got the
baseball.
Olympics first.
Oh, that's
Yes.
right. We got the Olympics this year. That's cool. So
I
that'll
can't
be
wait
better.
for swimming.
I can't wait for Daniel Hall from Kennesaw State
Well,
to throw
yes.
that hammer.
Yes,
that'd
but
be the coolest
big,
thing. Yeah.
big swimming and diving.
So we need to dig into football a little bit, and we're going to talk about today who we think the 5 best quarterbacks are in the NFL based on where they are right now. Adam, do you want to give yours first? Because I know you
Yeah.
worked studiously on this.
I did. I
Before the
worked.
show.
I worked very hard on this.
Yeah.
Obviously, number 1 is Patrick Mahomes. Number 2, I've got Lamar Jackson. Some people might say he's overrated. He's
I would
my
be one of those
he's
people.
he's my favorite quarterback. Number 3, I have Joe Burrow. Obviously, Joe Burrow's a fantastic quarterback. There's no debating that. Brock Purdy is 4. He's been
He's
to
so Purdy.
he's been to 2 Super Bowls. Fight me. 2 has been to 0. Josh Allen is 5.
Okay.
Dak Prescott is 12.
Outside looking in.
Or further below. How about you, Jim?
I'm going to have to agree with the top 2, Adam.
Mahomes
Yeah, it's
and
Mahomes and
Jackson?
Jackson. Yeah, I mean, as of today, yes. But then it's kind of a mix. I mean, C.J. Stroud is looking like that dude. He's really, I mean, he
Yeah,
is
it's-
solid.
He's
was-
only had 1 year.
I
It's
know.
very hard for me to
If
put
he-
him
But
in
you're
the top
talking about
5 after
today.
1
Like,
year.
if I'm going to put a quarterback on a team that I'm starting right now, it's Mahomes, it's Jackson. Yeah, I think C.J.
You gotta go Stroud?
But yeah, it's also looking forward. You know, you might have him for another 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if it's just for a season, then maybe. And as much as I hate to say it, I think Josh Allen's tremendous. But yeah, don't want to pick a Bill up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then Burrow.
And then Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Again,
And-
Joe Burrow is somebody that he got hurt last year, right? So if
I got Tua right next
if-
after
if-
that.
Yeah. If I knew he was healthy and it was going to be the old Joe Burrow, I think he belongs in the top 2. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm not convinced yet that he's going to be back to where Joe Burrow was.
Yeah.
Got some great receivers, got some good things going on there. But after Patrick Mahomes,
It's a pretty big drop.
I got Josh Allen
Okay.
as my number 2 guy. Number 3 is somebody neither one of you mentioned, Jordan Love.
He's not top 10.
Hey, don't shake your head.
He's not top 10.
Yes, he is.
Jordan Love is not top
He
10.
had a good half season.
He had a great end of his year. He cleaned the Cowboys' plow, and
That's not saying
he
much.
got work. He started off
playoffs, yeah.
again. The first of the year, he didn't have any receivers that he had worked with continuously. By the time at the end of the season, that they had worked
So
together.
you think it's only going up from there?
I think it's only going up
in
from there.
5 years, he might be top 5.
Okay.
He's not top 10.
Well, I see, and I feel the same way about Burrow. I think he was top 1 or 2 with Mahomes, but given right now, I don't know his status because he's just
So you got loaded.
he's coming back, and I like Burrow. I like Burrow a lot. I love what he's done. Love what he did at LSU, but right now, so I got Jordan Love at 3. I got Jared Goff at 4. I think what he did in Detroit, he turned that program around. He got them to the NFC Finals, right?
Jared Goff in front of Lamar Jackson and Brock Purdy
And you
is
swapped Jared Goff and Matt
crazy.
Stafford.
Crazy.
Where did Lamar Jackson wind up? He became so one-dimensional in the playoffs.
He wound up in the AFC Championship game.
As a loser.
Thank you.
And how
Yeah.
far did Jared Goff make it?
Same way. He lost in the thing. But again, great running backs, great receivers in the Detroit, and I think he's on
Defense,
the
too.
Yeah, I think they're on the way up. I'm not a big fan of Dan Campbell and some of the calls he makes, but I am a fan of Jared Goff, and I didn't like him when he was with the Rams. But I think he's coming to Detroit, and he's played pretty good ball. So I got to give him a number 5, Jalen Hurts. I think I like Jalen Hurts. I hate to see what happened at the end of the year because they were the bomb the first half of last year. But I think with Devontae Smith, and he's got A.J. Brown, and
Saquon Barkley now, too.
Saquon Barkley now is coming into Philadelphia. So
Don't remind me.
so I kind of like that. That would have to be my top 5. With kudos to Lamar Jackson, he's a great athlete. I like to watch him play, but I just don't see him making the next big step. And I just think he's becomes one-dimensional. And was it they only ran the ball like 5 times, or they only threw the ball 5 times in the last half of the game that game against Mahomes?
So where is Brock Purdy?
Brock Purdy's in San Francisco.
No, on your list, if your list were to
Brock
continue.
Purdy would be in the top 10.
Okay.
Definitely, yeah.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
just saying that
there's
he's
some others
been
that
to
aren't there.
more Super Bowls than most of the people on your list.
Aaron Rodgers isn't on that list.
He doesn't deserve to
Which he
be.
doesn't believe me. Kirk Cousins is not on the list.
Doesn't deserve
which
to
I
be.
don't think is even in the top 10. I think he's a serviceable quarterback, but we'll see what happens. Just, again, Larry and I were talking about before the show about how tennis is really losing its 3 big stars. I don't know who the next big stars are going to be in the NFL.
Brock Purdy,
beyond
Lamar
Mahomes.
Jackson, and Joe Burrow.
maybe one of them.
It's right there.
Maybe one of them. We'll see. I hope it's Joe Burrow. Like I said, I like Joe. I just couldn't put him in my top 5. All right. So let's move on to receivers because we'll disagree about that.
I think number 1 is easy.
The guy that just signed for $umpteen billion yesterday.
Yes,
Justin
Justin
Jefferson.
Jefferson is the best receiver in the league.
I would agree with that. Yeah, that's why he gets paid the big bucks. But the next guy's going to get more, then the next guy's going to get more, then the next guy's going to get more. You agree with that?
Yeah, that's how it works.
I had, with him being the best receiver.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because
I do have to
I'm a
agree
little
with that.
surprised by that. Because at number 2, I have Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
I have Jamar Chase.
I'm going DK Metcalf.
Wow.
Yeah.
With the Seahawks, right?
I mean, Geno Smith, he made Geno look good.
Yeah.
He
did.
He did. Number 3, I have Jamar Chase.
I have Tyreek at 3.
So we've just reversed on those.
Yeah.
two. Yeah. All right. Cool. That's pretty cool. How about you?
I'm going Tyreek 3. Yeah.
Yeah. See, that really shocks me because
That
I
I
thought
keep
you were
him
coming out
down
off
at
the-
3?
Yeah, that you keep it down
Man, you
at
gotta
3.
look at it objectively. If you make a top 5
Well, I'm
list,
trying to be
you know.
objective because I'm not a
Except
huge
for Brock
Dolphins
Purdy
fan.
over here. I mean,
Yeah.
Brock, not so Purdy. Yeah, yeah, but that's pretty cool. Number 4, I have A.J. Brown.
CD Lamb.
CeeDee, I knew you would sneak a Cowboy in
CeeDee
there.
Lamb. No, I'm not. It's not because I'm a Cowboys fan. It's because CeeDee Lamb is a top 5 receiver.
And he's going to get near that Jefferson money, too.
Yes.
He's going to get
and
up
he
there.
he deserves
If he
every
shows
penny
up.
of it.
If he shows up, he didn't show up at the mandatory camp yesterday, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, he's one of those guys.
okay. So at number 5,
Well, who do you have it for?
Who you have it for, Jim?
Jamar Chase.
Jamar.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't totally be opposed to throwing Waddle in there.
Hey.
I almost put him at 5.
Gotta
I
love the
really
Penguin,
did. That
man.
was
Gotta love the
Very,
Penguin.
very close. But
But if you had to pick
He-
between the
he was
two,
on
I'd have to
Batman.
take Jamar. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, number 5, I have Amon
Amon-Ra.
Amon-Ra.
St. Brown from Detroit.
Interesting pick.
Yeah.
I'd go A.J. Brown at 5.
Would you?
Yeah.
I really wanted to put Puka Nakua at 5.
Just to say his name?
Yes.
His name is
which is
Puka.
why I said. But I'm gonna go with Diggs.
Okay.
Stephon?
Stephon Diggs
Had
at
a
5.
very disappointing season last
I think
year.
he's a
though.
head case. And
You
he's
can't
go-
tell
he's
that I
gone
had
from
him on
Buffalo.
my
Is he at
fantasy team.
Dallas now? He went
No,
somewhere.
he's in Houston.
Houston, that's
I
right,
wish
he
he
was
were
Texas.
in Dallas.
Yeah, all right.
We'd
All right.
actually have some
So-
weapons.
Out of those two positions, do the Falcons have a chance in 3 years of anybody on their roster currently being in those top 5?
Bijan could be a top 5 running back.
I'm just talking about receiver and quarterback. The two positions. Because I think Bijan's already in the top 5.
Penix could be a top 5 quarterback, maybe.
Not in 3 years. I
Not in
think.
3 years. Give
I
it
think down the
5
road.
maybe.
Then no.
Okay. So no Drake London.
Nope.
No.
He'd be lucky to sniff the
Who's
top
the other
10.
wideout? Well, I know Kyle Pitts, but there's another wideout.
There's Rondale.
Yeah,
Rondale's
Rondale
not
Brown.
top
Yeah.
5.
Hollywood.
None of our wideouts. I
Okay.
mean, if you get into tight ends and things.
So we get
then
into
you
the
might-
thing where where it's just like the NBA Finals where there's no MVP on either team. Falcons could still get there without an MVP.
Yeah, and we did so in 98. What
Yeah.
was it, 98, 99?
Yeah,
And Matt Ryan didn't deserve his MVP, so.
he had a heck of a year.
Yeah.
He had a heck of a
He,
year.
he deserved it the year he got it.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. So we're just a couple of weeks away from training camp over, and ATA was today. Or was it
OTAs?
OTAs was started this week, right? So
I don't know.
A lot of
It's
football
minicamp
going
now.
on, mini camp. Yeah, jeez, my favorite part of the year is coming up. Nothing personal against your Panthers, but I'll be glad when hockey's over. I'll be glad when the NBA's over. I'll be glad when the WNBA's over. When the two majors left in golf are over, is that I can focus on football.
Since we got a couple minutes, let me throw out a question.
All right.
What do you think of the Players Association coming up with this thing where they don't want the early training and they just want the training? You know,
Eventually, it's going to hurt people. I mean, people are going to get hurt. I mean, you got to practice.
I think they're a bunch of drama
well, it's
queens.
not the practice; it's letting the rookies and all get a shot to show their stuff instead of having to show up in
Preseason camp.
July. You know, July, and
Yeah.
it's they got to learn everything from July on.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, they're digging in deep into playbooks now. That's kind of where they are.
Yeah, but with the Players Association doesn't want that to happen until they show up in July.
Yeah. Well, I'm totally against that. I mean, that's a little time to learn a lot. It's not something that in all sports, repetition is the most important thing to learn how to play anything. It's like if you go out and shoot 100 free throws, you're going to do better typically in your last 25 than you do your first 25. That's just you learn and you learn and you learn through repetition. So, yeah, so that's pretty cool. Well, how are we doing time-wise? So we're there. Jim, I know you got to cut out. You got a kid to go pick up.
Yes, I do.
Thanks
you,
for
guys.
being on, man. That
Hey,
was a lot of fun.
This was excellent. Really appreciate it, Adam. Thank you, sir.
There you go.
Nice hot takes. I appreciate that.
And
None of my takes were hot. They were all freezing cold.
that's funny. So take off, and we'll get to you again soon.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Come back when
Appreciate
football's
it.
on, right?
Oh, yes, sir.
All right.
I hope so. Thank
All
you.
right. Thanks, Jim. Be careful. Listen to that crowd for Jim. That's incredible.
Hey.
So, ATL, what did you think about the show?
I thought it was a good show. I
Yeah.
didn't like that he thought all of my takes were hot. My takes were, for the most part, freezing cold, but that's fine.
Everybody's got their own opinion, right?
His are just wrong.
Yeah, everybody's got their right to their own opinion as long as they're the same as mine.
Yep.
We appreciate Jim coming out, and he, like I said, he had to slide out and go pick up his kids from preschool or after school or something. But we will be back at 7 o'clock to discuss all things KSU, and we look forward to seeing you then back out here at Miller's Ale House. I looked over at Will and saw
Willer's
it
Ale
said
House.
Willer's Ale House.
I'd go to Willer's Ale House.
I'd go to Willer's Ale House too.
He's
but-
got some good. I bet he's got some good food.
Yeah, but I'm happy to be here at Miller's, and we will look forward to seeing you at 7 o'clock and next week at 5 o'clock here at Miller's Ale House. Until then, guys, know your numbers, cover your ass, get your prostate checked. Have a good week.